A former corrections officer is now facing murder charges after investigators say he killed his father Monday morning at a convenience store in Springfield.
The incident happened in broad daylight on Central Street, and this morning the suspect faced a judge. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo is live in Springfield with those details. Audrey?
Genesis Arios Santos pleaded not guilty to murder charges. This incident happening at the Busy Bee convenience store on Central Street, where people around the area tell me today that the victim was beloved.
It was just a senseless shooting.
Each candle placed in front of the Busy Bee convenience store is another reminder that someone cared about Humberto Santos. Those who frequent the Springfield store tell Western Mass News Humberto worked there each day until Monday morning. That's when Springfield police say they were called to the store for reports of a gunshot victim. Inside, they say Humberto died of his injuries. The Hampden District Attorney tells us Humberto's son, Genesis Arias Santos, is the suspect, charged with murder.
It was like a regular Monday morning. He gets up about 7 o'clock, and he leave out of the house about 8 and be up here at the store.
Jeanette Grenier tells Western Mass News that Humberto was her landlord.
He helped me out when I needed a place to live, and he offered me a home. I'm not homeless anymore because of him.
And that with his death, the community lost a generous soul.
Nobody really, really help people out when they're homeless.
25-year-old Genesis Arias Santos pleaded not guilty Tuesday morning to murder charges. Hampden County officials tell Western Mass News Genesis is a former corrections officer. Now he's being held behind bars without right to bail.
It makes me think that, this area is not safe anymore.
Springfield police say that Genesis actually returned to the scene of the crime later on Monday and was brought to the hospital for a medical episode before he could be positively ID'd as a suspect. However, they say that after an investigation, police detectives went to the hospital and arrested him after they determined he was a suspect. Live in Springfield, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.
A few showers, still a possibility as we continue out into the evening hours. We're actually watching this little batch here just on the outer border of Berkshire County. Some of those could hold together, and you may see a few showers in Berkshire County before the sun goes down. Pioneer Valley's pretty quiet right now with 1 or 2 showers in Hampden County and some patchy clouds. A cold front getting ready to push through, but we're already feeling the drier air coming into the area, which is starting to kind of eat away at some of those showers off to our west. Right now, some good sunshine, some scattered clouds as we look out from our Monarch Skycam. Nice healthy breeze coming in out of the west-northwest, falling dew points in the 50s, and temperatures are in the high 70s. We are still holding on to some good warmth here throughout the Pioneer Valley. A couple spots have cooled off like Ware and Palmer, and also seeing some 60s in Blandford and Pittsfield right now. Dew points have dropped back into the 50s for everyone. They may briefly climb a little bit this evening, and then they'll drop again overnight once we get behind our cold front. So throughout the rest of the evening, partly cloudy skies. We'll have clearing after midnight, temperatures dropping back down through the 60s. Then by tomorrow morning, our early morning temperature should be lower to middle 50s. It'll be a cool and crisp start to your day. Plenty of sunshine. Good morning to have that coffee outdoors. By 10 a.m., we're up to about 68 degrees, and your backyard fun meter is pretty much maxed out for tomorrow. So get out and enjoy it. Top 10 weather day on the way as we hit mid 70s in the afternoon with low humidity and abundant sunshine. And that nice weather stretch will go through the end of the week. Then things turn a bit unsettled to start off the holiday weekend. I'll have more on that in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Janna, thanks. The scare at the Sarah Jane Sherman Pool in Chicopee Saturday evening has other local communities taking added precautions as they prepare to open public pools for the summer.
Western Mass News reporter Matt SOTTILE joins us live in Holyoke now with more. Matt?
Chris and Jordan, the Holyoke Parks and Recreation Department is anticipating a busy summer here at Pouliot Pool. Western Mass News is getting answers on how the park plans to keep residents safe in light of a Chicopee toddler falling into a pool over in Chicopee last weekend. Saturday night at the Sarah Jane Sherman Memorial Pool in Chicopee, not yet open for the season, a 2-year-old fell into the pool, but fortunately saved by 2 police officers called to the scene. Western Mass News received this statement on Monday afternoon from the Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation, which operates the pool, that reads in part, quote, "An employee of the pool was there earlier in the day and confirms the gates were locked, but it appears they were later propped open. They are now investigating a likely incident of trespassing from Saturday evening, which may have contributed to the unlocked and open gate. This has caught the attention of other public pool operators in the area. We spoke to Maureen Tisdale, who oversees Puleo Pool in Holyoke, to see how the Chicopee incident is being used to reevaluate safety and security measures.
I think that is a lesson for all the surrounding cities and towns with pools to really emphasize the importance with the lifeguards who are locking up for the day or whoever's on staff to double, triple check the gates that need to be locked.
This particular pool closed in 2015 for renovations, which she says will improve security measures.
I think we're ready to go, and with the renovations, they definitely upgraded the key system to prevent people from trying to break in.
And deter pool jumpers.
We did have vandalism problems, so as you can see with the fence, it comes up and it goes over to prevent what you call pool jumpers.
For Tisdale, keeping everyone safe is top of mind.
That's our top priority going into the summer season, who's coming in and out of the pool and when we lock up for the day.
And Puleo Pool is scheduled to open later this month, although there is no official date announced just yet. As for the incident at the Sarah Jane Sherman Pool in Chicopee, both Chicopee Police and the DCR tell Western Mass News the situation is still an open investigation. We will keep you updated with any information as we receive it. Reporting live in Holyoke, Matt Sottile, Western Mass News.
Matt, thank you for that live report. The state of emergency across the state is now over, effective today. That also means some of the measures set into place to help restaurants are no longer in effect.
Western Mass News reporter LINDSEY KANE is live for us in West Springfield with those details. LINDSEY?
Prison Jordan, effective today, cocktails can no longer be sold to go, and the pricing model associated with deliveries is no longer in effect. Earlier today, Governor Charlie Baker said in the next few days he expects a bill from the Massachusetts House and Senate that would put some of the pandemic measures for restaurants into law. For now, towns and cities have 60 days before they have to take away what regulations they put into place to help restaurants. For many areas, this would include makeshift outdoor dining in the streets or sidewalks started during the pandemic. But West Springfield Mayor Will Reichelt tells Western Mass News he hopes the legislation in progress will extend the outdoor dining permits. But if not, he is planning on making outdoor dining permanent in town, regardless of what the state says.
With our trial period, trial by fire through COVID, saw that it totally worked and everyone loves it, and that we really should keep it around. So we have the example of last year to work on, and really this year too, because it's already happening.
He says prior to the pandemic, the town was working on an outdoor dining ordinance, and now seeing the success over the past year, an official ordinance will be coming soon. Coming up later on Western Mass News, we hear more from restaurants in town with what this means for business in the future. Live in West Springfield, LINDSEY KANE, Western Mass News.
LINDSEY, thanks for that live report. New at 6, a locally owned convenience store and gas station chain is going up for sale. The owner of Pride, Robert BOLDUC, tells Western Mass News it's time to put his business on the market. He tells us he's too young to retire, but it is time for a change.
We're not selling because we're in any financial trouble whatsoever. We're selling because things are going along well. And, you know, like an athlete, you want to get out of it when you're at the top of your game.
BOLDUC has hired a firm to look at their options, but nothing is guaranteed yet. Pride has more than 30 locations between Western Mass and Connecticut.
The Department of Public Health releasing today's COVID-19 data. They say the state's positivity rate over the past week sits at 0.42%. There have sadly been 2 new deaths due to the virus, and so far, just under 57% of Massachusetts residents have been fully vaccinated. For a full look at those numbers, you can check out our free Western Mass News streaming app.
Today, Harvard professor Danielle Allen kicked off her bid for governor, steps from the State House. Allen is the first African-American woman to launch a bid for governor in a major party. She's a Democrat with no experience holding office, but she says she's been an advisor in the past.
Leadership should be open to all. This was the first state to abolish enslavement, yet it has taken us this long to get to this day. It's time to accelerate the pace of change.
She's now the second Democrat to launch a campaign. Former state senator Ben Downing also announcing his run earlier in the year. State Senator Sonia Chang-Diaz and Attorney General Maura Healey are also seen as possible candidates. Governor Charlie Baker hasn't yet announced whether or not he'll seek a third term.
The Big E is coming back in full swing this fall. Organizers announcing they'll be opening September 17th at full capacity. Despite the pandemic, there won't be much of a difference between this year's fair and years past, except some more cleaning. Organizers are asking every unvaccinated attendee to wear a mask as well. There will be new vendors and attractions this year. Those announcements will come later this summer.